evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Basement Show of Mr. Knast. I am Mr. Knast. Joining me tonight is
Ron. How you going,
and
everybody?
The Heat is back for another fun Monday too.
Yes, indeed.
But hope everyone had a good weekend. I always say these weekends go by way too quick, but we're back for another fun-filled week, which should be quite entertaining this week. So
Yep,
tonight is our Sports Gladiators show. So we'll see how
indeed
this
it is.
goes. Yeah.
At least
Sounded
we got some good news going on the Phillies front right now.
Yeah, 10-2. You
Everybody's
gotta love
hitting
that.
tonight.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. Everybody hits and the Phillies win. I mean, the way that Noah gave up a running of 4 hits in the first inning, you're like, oh great, here we go.
Yeah,
But they spun it around and showed up. I mean, I'm impressed.
yeah. It's after the weekend that we had, where we had number 2 pencil bats and stuff. We seemed like we were worried more about the show than the win, and Washington had other thoughts.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how you felt about the Bryson Stott pencil bat, but I guess you didn't like it too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that I don't like it, but when you're focused so much on everything that's going on besides the game at a time when it's critical that we win these games, it's kind of tough. But I understand the whole concept, and I'm sure it was great for the kids that were there and all. But you know, um, Bryce had his fanatic bat and his and then they had the pencil bat and they had everything else going on and all the pomp and circumstance that was involved. And I just think they lost sight of the fact that, every game right now during this stretch is pretty critical, and we're not really having, we're only playing 500 out of the last 30 games. So 15 and 15 after running 27-10 prior.
Fair enough. I mean, that is a valid point. Chris is in the chat with a exclamation point Phillies. He's excited. Yep. They need to sweep the Giants to put some space between them and other wildcard teams. 100% agree.
Well, they're holding 2.5 on San Francisco going into tonight. So a sweep here, if they put them 6.5 back, would be huge. Absolutely true.
Yeah, well,
but one game at a time. As long as we got the right, we had the right Nola tonight. He's not in the game anymore now, but at least we had the right Nola to start after the first inning.
True, and for once they actually gave him some run support.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I feel like that's Nola's biggest downfall. Hope to have a great outing, but the offense shits the bed.
Yeah, but they've been shitting the bed for everybody. I mean, all year they've been shitting the bed for Chris Sanchez.
That is true.
They don't give him any run support whatsoever.
So Sanchez Aaron 2.0.
Yeah. Well,
who knows? Well, but it's nice to see him actually taking care of business tonight after, like I said, a very rough first inning. He goes up a run. I think the first guy got out, and then they had 4 hits in a row. So they only give up 1 run out of that. It was pretty impressive. I gotta give.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. He got it back together. So, luckily, good Nola was there tonight.
Good Nola. Okay.
I think evil Nola has it's like Star Trek, like the evil Spock who had a goatee. Yeah. I think it's kind of like that.
Okay.
So somebody needs to check Nola for a goatee when he's sucking.
Chris, I give that job to you because I think Chris is actually going to the game tomorrow night. He invited me to go with him, but I have inventory at work, so I can't go. But he had invited me. I think he said his boss gave him Diamond Club tickets. So, Chris, if you're sitting that close to Noah, I expect a goatee check.
Well, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm not kidding. Diamond Club, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess since we started talking about the Phillies, we might as well talk about the Phillies first, huh?
There you go. Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the Phillies had a disappointing week, I would say. Where we're not taking care of the games we got to take care of. I mean, that's the concerning part, because this was supposed to be, the easy part of the schedule. And, although I'm not so worried about them falling off a little bit in August, they got to find it before they hit September. Because if I have to be lukewarm now to be hot in 3 weeks, then so be it. Because those are going to be tougher games, and they're going to be games that count a lot more as we get down to crunch time. And, don't want to see this thing have to go down to the last couple of days.
Yeah. I can't. I don't think my stress can put up with that a couple years in a row. I mean, but that is the Phillies MO for you. I mean, they do like to make things interesting.
Awesome, Chris. We appreciate the share.
Let's see schedule. I'm just looking at the games we'll put from this month.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they lost. You figure they went 1-1 in Toronto,
right? Which they should have swept.
1-2 versus Washington. The 2 games in Washington and 1 game in Williamsport last night.
And 1 game gave up a 6-run lead.
Yeah, I mean,
these are things that can't happen in September.
I agree.
So we gotta lock this down, and that's what's the biggest fear right now is. I mean, it's good to say, look, they're not peaking too early.
True.
Which helps. Some people were saying during that 27-10 run.
Yeah, but hey, when you get hot, you get hot. There's nothing you can do about it in baseball.
Exactly true. So Turner is looking more and more like it's for real. He's back. He's not swinging it those outside breaking balls the way he was, just flailing around trying to whiff himself out of the street, out of his slump. He was chasing a lot of bad pitches, and he's not doing that anymore. And I mean, hitting 2 home runs in 1 inning for the first time for the Phillies since Von Hayes did it in 1985.
You put me. Wow.
Was the last time a Philly hit 2 home runs in an inning.
I didn't know you. Now I feel young.
38 years ago.
And I'm only 36. I wasn't around yet.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's fair. I'm just looking at this, like the schedule though. Like all 3 of the losses, 2-1 Toronto's, 8-7 Washington, 4-3. Yeah. They're all competitive games. Games they need to win.
But they were games they were ahead and then fell behind.
Except for last night.
That's the problem. Except for last night. Well, last night, like I said, they got caught up in the pomp and circumstance, I think.
Yeah, true.
The one thing that I thought was unusual is that they actually mentioned Dave Raymond in the broadcast. Like they were honoring the Fanatic.
Wow.
And they actually named Dave Raymond as opposed to the current Fanatic, because Dave Raymond was the original and the creator.
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of surprising considering the controversy that surrounded the Fanatic for a while to bring up the original one. Huh.
Well, yeah, because there was the big lawsuit and all that stuff,
Yep.
But I mean, he still technically owns the rights.
That is true. Good evening, Curtis. Nice to see you. Happy Monday.
Hey, Curtis.
Chris is all jacked up.
Yeah.
Dropping fire in the chat and everything. Watch out.
Hey, I'm telling you, closer and closer we get to Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it all falls back to what I've been saying since the last couple of weeks. Versus 500 or less teams, the Phillies are 37 and 36 now. You have to win those games.
Yeah. And that's, if you just look at the games, some of the games that we blew and the way we blew them, all of a sudden, instead of being, 2.5 games up, then maybe you're 8 or 9 games up at this point.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, got to win the games at home. I mean, they're 34 and 24 at home. I mean, that's not terrible, but it's gotten good.
No.
Compared to being 33 and 33 on the road.
But the worst thing is being bad against bad teams. Yeah, that's what you can't do.
1010% agree.
Yep.
Because like you look at teams like Atlanta, they're 42 and 26 versus the 500 teams. The Dodgers 36 and 29. I mean, Milwaukee's 35 and 36. So they're like us, but the NL Central is down the whole other story.
Yeah.
But like San Francisco, they're 36 and 31 versus sub 500 teams.
Yeah.
They'll give me games for a reason. Take advantage of it, please.
Well, I'll tell you, Chris, if it gets into late September, and that place comes alive, if it's going to be Red October again, the home field advantage becomes even more than what it is currently. I mean, currently it's a rough place for teams to come into. But it as it gets closer and the fans get lathered up a little more, it's going to be even more. But they've had better attendance this year than they had last year.
Yeah, we had talked about those numbers a couple weeks ago. So
yeah. So, I mean, they're averaging a good few thousand over what they were averaging last year, all the way through the year, not just people jumping on, at the last month or two.
Yeah, they have a huge home field advantage when it meant more for sure. Yeah, so Chris is agreeing with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I mean,
oh no, that place. I mean, that brought us so much cred with the players in the league. So anytime anybody is deciding where they want to play, all of a sudden they're saying, "Man, that World Series, that place was crazy. I want to be a part of that." That's one of the reasons Trey Turner came here.
True.
And locked himself in for 11 years, 12 years.
That is true. Oh, was it to get away from the floods of LA? Did you see that picture today?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
Morgan's husband Kevin put it in our group chat. Curtis will tell you. Well, Curtis shared the picture and Kevin made the comment. He was like, "What? The field looks dry. They can still play."
Yeah. Well, they got to pump the water out of there and ship it to Maui.
Yeah, I mean,
because those fires are getting worse.
True. I sure could believe they could have beat Houston, but they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good take, Chris. I mean, you could definitely make arguments. I would say to Houston's pitching peaked at the right time compared to us.
Yeah. I mean, we did what we did all year. We had a huge offensive day, and then we got shut out.
No hit.
No hit. So, it was true to form, and that's always been the history around here. It seems for the last few years.
Yeah, especially when it comes to the Phillies. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
You figure they put up 13 runs on Saturday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come back the following day and only score 3.
Yep.
Inconsistency.
That's true. They went 4 games where they scored a total of 2 runs last week.
Yeah.
So,
Who's your three starters for a 3-game series? Ooh, Chris putting us on the spot with that question.
it's not a difficult question for me.
Okay, go ahead.
Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, and Aaron Nola.
So you're leaving Tajon Walker out of the rotation, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
If Ranger's healthy, then they're my three. And then, Walker's had a great year. But Ranger has this demeanor to him. They call him the Iceman. He's like nothing that happens affects his mood. He's very level, and he's done it at that level. And he pitched in big games, and he got big outs. I'm gonna stick with him.
Okay. Chris says he does Wheeler, Noah, and new guy. So I'm guessing he says Walker.
So you take Ranger out?
Yeah. Oh, I don't trust Walker. Okay, so it's not Walker.
Well, Lorenzen got shelled the other night. He whether it was fatigue from throwing 126 pitches in the no hitter, maybe, but the bottom line is that he had 2 good outings when he first got here, but I don't think he's earned that starting spot in a a playoff series yet.
No, I could see you. I think him and Walker could definitely be good long relievers if you need a long reliever. But
Lorenzen was a reliever before he was a starter.
That is true.
So it's not like he's never done it before. So I would be more comfortable having him available. If somebody gets in trouble early in a game, Noah's not going to be able to pitch out of the bullpen. If Nola's not starting, then Nola can't be on the roster for the playoff series. And I don't think that's the right thing to do. So you stick with the horses that got you there. And as much as, Nola's up and down and he's been frustrating at times, he's still, over the course of his career, pitched a lot of innings for this team. And he's pitched a lot of innings and he's won a lot of games. So you ride the horses that got you there.
Yeah, okay. I see your point. Chris says Walker for me is a way up and down. Yeah, a lot of the pictures are it, but like Ron said, Ron's been saying, like, you got to go with who's got you there. And last year it was Wheeler, Noah, and Ranger, and they had all three had good postseasons. It was just, we wore them out.
Yeah. Noah had 200 plus innings last year.
I think Wheeler did too.
Yeah, probably did.
So yeah.
But that's now that you had this situation coming, since Lorenzen got here and you have 6 starters, then maybe you give them an extra day here or there, in between. But now Ranger's on the IL, so we got to get him back.
That is true. So I did find a video. I'm going to present that right now. Since we were talking about it before the game, Bryce Harper hit an inside the park home run tonight. And here is a video clip up. There's no sound, so I shouldn't get in trouble for it. But here is bottom of the fifth, 2 outs, 1-2 count. And here you go. So that's what I figured.
I thought that would have been gone. He probably thought it was gone too. But at least he was hoofing it the whole way.
Oh, Bryce Harper.
It wasn't even close.
He's like, too easy.
Look where it hits, though. It hits right at that base of that deepest part of the field.
Oh, yeah. He has wheels up.
He was going for it all the way.
Oh, absolutely. There's Schroeder's hit next to if you want to watch that one real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Little ad posts. Can I skip this? No, I don't think so. Oh well. A moment from our sponsors.
What'd you call me?
I said our sponsors.
I'm a geek. I'm not a nerd. Get it right. Oh,
Damn.
yeah. Damn.
Holy shit.
Second level, almost third level.
That's almost what places that walk.
What's up, Gabe?
That's a moonshot.
That was a moonshot, man. Look at that. That wasn't that far from third level.
Wow. He's going to get there one day.
Not too many have been going up there.
Oh, Field View show was on. Do we want to watch that? That's
Yeah.
Field View. So, hold on. See if this one does. Another ad, of course, but that's great. This one's black, so we can just let the 10 seconds go by real quick. But
yeah,
Phillies win it 10-4. Final score. There you go.
Okay.
So they gave up 2 in the top of the ninth.
That's a big win.
So this is the view from the field. I mean, look, the ball goes even going nuts.
So did you notice that? I don't know if you've ever noticed before, but every time somebody hits a home run between first and second, they raise their hand. Do you know why?
The bullpen.
Exactly. And somebody hit a homer and didn't do it, and they gave him shit for it.
Sounds like Philly.
Because they didn't acknowledge the bullpen on their way around first to second.
Damn. You should look up video of Ellie De La Cruz stealing second and home. Did he have another one?
Did he do it again? He did that one game. He did second, third, and home. Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he meant. Second, third, and home. Yeah, that was crazy. If you want to pull that up, man, I'd love to see that again. This guy is something special. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see this kid for years and years to come. Just an unbelievable amount of speed this kid has.
Yeah, inside the park on Saturday.
Yeah.
So let me steals 3 bases. Here we go.
Yeah.
Is this one? Here it is. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's got another super ad, like usual.
Yeah.
There's
second. Right. Gets the dirt out of his junk.
I mean, the kid's tall too. Yeah.
And there's third. Now watch him. Pitcher turned around. He wasn't looking at him. He just went right for the plate.
Gotta love it. I mean, no chance at third.
Yeah. And he's just walking. The pitcher's looking at the catcher, turns his back, and then boom, he's gone.
Wow. I wish I could do that.
Not on my best day.
No, mine neither. I mean,
at any age.
When I was playing baseball as a kid, I was more they used to call me the arm because I had a very strong arm, so I would play left field or right field. So.
Yeah. Well, see, I was a catcher. So I played other positions, but I was primarily a catcher. And I was at that time the only kid in the little league I was in. I would sidearm from my knees and pick guys off of first base. Like guys would get too far off the base after I caught a pitch, and
Yeah.
I could sidearm around the runner from my knees and get it to first base, and we threw quite a few guys out that way. So
Damn.
guys weren't running on me a lot.
Okay, JT, I see you.
And that was a long, long time ago. That was, I guess if you're talking about me in Little League, you're talking about the 70s.
Again, I wasn't around yet. No offense to you, Ron.
Yeah. Well, just keeping it real, man.
Yeah, me playing lower league, it was in the mid 90s. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I still remember to this day, I got hit by a pitch on my kneecap by the hardest throwing kid at 13 years old. Hit me right on the kneecap with the first pitch. Took my base, walked the bases because everybody like got hits or something.
Yeah.
After the half inning, got myself, and I said I quit. Walked out of the dugout and never played again.
I caught a guy in Babe Ruth who threw so hard. I had 2 all-state pitchers that I caught in the same team. And one of them threw a fastball that I had to put an extra piece of padding in my catcher's mitt because I would have a bruise in my palm for all the ones that I didn't catch in the web. They would hit me in the center.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'd have a big bruise right here after every game I caught from him.
Nope.
So I had to put an extra piece of padding in my glove when he was pitching. And then the other guy threw 7 different pitches. He threw a knuckleball and a knuckle curve. So, I mean, he was like very difficult to catch.
Jeez.
Because you got a knuckleball pitcher, you're blocking stuff all the time. It's just the nature. But they knew even if I was blocking them, I'd still have a shot at throwing somebody out just because I could throw on a snap.
Hey, more power to you. I mean,
yeah.
Curtis coaches his son, Jet. I know that. And I think Jet, his son, was somewhat of a pitcher this year, if I'm not mistaken, and a couple other positions. So, Coach Curtis.
There you go.
We got to call. Not Coach Carter, Coach Curtis.
Yep. Yeah, that De La Cruz is just, he's lightning fast. But I'll tell you what, Johan Rojas is no slowpoke either.
No.
You want to talk about a guy who can move? He's another one.
Yeah. I mean, Rojas has been playing some pretty solid defense, and his bat's been hitting too. He had, I think, he said 2 hits tonight. So
yeah. Well, he's earned his spot for a guy who started the year in Double-A.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
That's very true. I mean, 30 minutes in, and I'm surprised you haven't mentioned somebody else yet. I mean...
You mean Mr. Jake Cave?
There you go. Here we go.
Popping homers and playing left field and first base and knocking the cover off the ball every time he gets in. Plus playing a pretty solid defense for the most part. He had one he dropped the other day, but it was a bad throw from Turner. And he still almost came up with it.
So you're taking the blame off of Cave and putting it on Turner.
Well, Turner got the error for it.
That's true. Most of the time they do.
But he still almost got it. I mean, he actually got leather on it, but it short hopped him.
Yeah. Speaking about Jet, we just got a phone call from the coach who does the fall ball. The team he coaches is 12-13. Jet is only 11. They saw him pitching at one of his training things, and they want him on the team for the fall. There you go.
Nice. Awesome.
That's being called up from AAA to the majors. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. Scouting the young guys.
Yeah.
Those are good coaches. Keep an eye on the farm.
There we go. Let me see if I can. Oh, I messed this up. Hold on. I'm gonna write a comment real quick. There you go. We're gonna start trending that hashtag Team Jet.
There you go. Nice.
It's gonna go global.
Keep us posted on that.
Yeah, please do. So we bought Jet a new bike yesterday, and that's all he's been doing the last 3 days, riding his bike all day, training for baseball. Yeah, I mean, you build your life strength. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about your arm so much, but your legs definitely get a workout.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, if I hopped on a bike, I would be out of breath about 5 minutes in. But back in the day, that's all you had to do. That's all you had to get around was a bike with your 2 feet.
True. That's true.
He starts his baseball league the second week of September. I will keep you guys posted. Please
Awesome.
do. We'll make it a part of Sports Gladiators. We'll talk about Jet's baseball career.
Get the
I
Jet
like that.
report.
Dude,
The Jet set.
I love that. I can actually I'll make a little intro for it and everything.
There you
So
go.
we'll get Curtis to give us the update. He says, okay, update time. We'll run the Jet report segment.
There you go.
Ron, you're a genius. I love it.
That'd be awesome.
Curtis does too.
Yeah, and then he could go back and replay it for Jet because he could replay it on Facebook or YouTube
or Twitch.
or Twitch. Yep.
You're a genius, my friend. I love it.
All right. So what else? The Braves are just still, they're leveling off, but they're so far ahead, it's really not going to matter.
No, I mean, it's a shame, but
I mean, the only good thing is if we hold this top wild card spot, at least we'll get that first series at home.
Yeah. Which could be a game changer. You never know.
Yeah. And then, anything can happen from there.
Let's see. MLB League. So Atlanta's actually the top seed in the National League right now. They have a 4-game lead over the Dodgers at 80 and 43. Dodgers are 76 and 47. And then it drops down 9 games to the Milwaukee Brewers, who are 60 and 57.
Wow.
So, I mean, 2-team race for the NL. I got to say that.
Yeah.
The American League, on the other hand, I would say is pretty much wide open. But those pesky Baltimore Orioles sit atop of the American League still at 77 and 47. The Braves will fall apart in the playoffs again. I don't believe in their coach. That's a bold statement.
Yeah. Hey. And they're only, 30 some games over 500?
37 to be exact. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. And it's kind of hard to throw I don't believe at 37 games over 500. I mean, they've been hitting on all cylinders, and you can't really fault them. They're having a tremendous season. But remember, a couple years ago, the Dodgers did the exact same thing, and they got bounced out of the playoffs just like that because you got to be hot at the right time.
Absolutely.
You could have the best record in the world, and if you're not hot when it counts, you're going home. In a short series, you got a 5-game series. You got to make it count.
Yeah, well, you saw what the Phillies did to them last year in the playoffs.
Yep.
All it takes is to win 1 game on the road as a away team in the playoffs, and automatically that home field advantage flips.
Yep, sure does.
They collapse in the playoffs, and we'll do it again. Chris is sticking to his word.
Yep.
I admire that. So teams that win 100 win 100 cases, he means win games. Don't usually win the whole thing.
That's true. I'll take 100 cases right now. I'm a little thirsty.
Well, Chris is the main candidate dry sales rep for Wegmans. You can talk to him.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get something to fall off the truck for you. You never know. But looking at this too, Atlanta is one of two teams right now that have over 700 runs scored. That's pretty impressive.
Hey, just remember, Canada Dry in this area distributes RC Cola. So RC Cola is actually been present in our lives all the time, because the majority of bars, when you order a rum and Coke, you're getting a rum and RC Cola. I hate to break it to you.
Fair enough.
Because
Crazy cola.
most bars are using RC. They're not using Coke.
Probably because it's cheaper, right?
A lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper. I think I saw RC cola once the whole time I was working for Canada Dry. So
Yeah, well, we had it every week at the place I used to work, Dollar General. It's 2 liters and 12 packs.
this Canada Dry also has Pennsylvania Dutch root beer once in a while.
Yes,
too.
yes.
I mean, you want to talk about something that's good on tap, but when you're getting the Philly cheesesteak, can't go wrong with
Or pizza, Max Pizza in Wildwood. You have to have a birch beer. It's required. And it has to be Pennsylvania Dutch.
Absolutely. Nothing better, nothing else.
Yep. 2 liter and 12 pack. Yep. Absolutely.
Like I said, you want to talk a side hustle, you can talk to Chris. He can maybe make something happen, like I said, off a truck somewhere.
Yeah. Yep.
But,
so, yeah, you got anything else? Well, I mean, you had the Little League Media Pennsylvania had an unfortunate 6th inning yesterday.
yeah,
It knocked them out. But I mean, they came back. They were down 2-0. They came back and tied it up, and it was 2-2 going into the 6th, and then it just fell apart. But they were so close.
that is true. I mean, some of the Phillies actual players were at that game in the morning, but rooting them on, which was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, that's tradition, pretty much. The teams that play, any players that aren't in the starting lineup usually will ride with the teams on their buses to the game and like spend some time with them and stuff. Like it's a whole goodwill thing that they do.
Hey, more power to them.
So I mean, Major League Baseball does it right by them. I think they do a good job with that, But I didn't notice and I don't know if they just haven't played it yet. I didn't notice the Field of Dreams game this year.
That's what Chris was just asking. Huh?
They didn't play it yet, did they?
I will look.
They did. They played it last year. They played it last few years.
There you go. MLB Field of Dreams. Okay, is there a Field of Dreams game in 2023? Unfortunately, there will not be a Field of Dreams game this season due to construction. A development project with $80 million got underway at the location in September of 2022.
Oh, geez. Yeah, Chris, apparently, because we both came up with it at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary.
Evening, Gary. Nice to see you. So, what is this construction they're doing? MLB.
Like, they building another field?
I don't know. I'm going to look.
Or a bigger stadium, or what?
Construction. If I can spell it right.
Unless they're replacing it with a bigger one, Chris. That's the only other thing I can think of. If they're just increasing the size, the capacity and stuff. Or hopefully they're not like building hotels and stuff there.
Right.
And taking away from what it is. I think that would be a big mistake.
Well, looking at this picture, the one picture I found, I mean, looks like they took out most of the corner around it, or the field around it. But I don't see actual like construction photos.
Gary said it's a Wawa. No, it's a Dollar General. It's a cornfield.
Yeah, it's a first one. It's a
That's what
well,
that's what goes in empty cornfields. Dollar General.
well,
If
speaking of
there's a field, we will build.
well, speaking of baseball stadiums as a whole, I read an article yesterday that might actually deter a lot of people. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw the article or not. The Baltimore Orioles owner has come out and said he may look to move the team out of Camden Yards
that would be a big mistake.
and build something else.
That would be a big, big mistake. The only reason he's doing that is because when they sucked, they never would have got the city to agree to anything. But now that the city's all pumped up about the team, he figures this is the ideal time to, build a stadium with more luxury boxes and, which will generate more revenue, which will put more money in his pocket. I mean, that ownership group has showed their true colors with the announcer thing. So if I'm the city of Baltimore, they don't get shit from me.
The Washington Nationals killed the Orioles. I don't know if you could say that.
No, I don't think so. The Orioles killed the Orioles because they sucked for so many years. Honestly, a lot of their dip in attendance was due to the fact the team was just hard to watch.
Yeah.
And the ownership group had did nothing to excite the fans. They just put a product out there and collected what they could. I mean, a lot of people come to that stadium just to see the stadium, just because it was the stadium that kind of created the new MLB as far as stadiums is concerned. I mean, CBP borrowed a lot from Camden Yards. And so did all subsequent stadiums after that, where they stopped using the multi-purpose stadiums that had a lot of empty space and just made it a more intimate setting with, more amenities and a better fan experience.
Yeah. That's what happens when the team's so bad they jump to Washington and start falling in the nets. I wouldn't say that. I mean, sure, you're going to have some
almost
fans.
as bad.
Oh, yeah.
The Nats were more bad than good. They were good occasionally. I mean, they did win the World Series the year after Bryce left, but
don't get me started on that. I mean, all the flack that Philly got for that move. I mean, Bryce leaves the Nationals and they win without him. They didn't need Bryce to begin with. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, I think that theory's out the window now. I think Bryce is more than earned his Philadelphia cred at this point.
Yeah, very, very true. You're right. Let's see.
I mean, he had a bat that had John on it, so
On.
Yeah, it's the one bat he had last night had like all these. It had the Liberty Bell, it had the Independence Hall, it had John on it, it had cheesesteak, something about cheesesteaks on it, and like it was all Philly stuff. The love statue and from used to be there by the fountain, all that stuff. Yeah.
The Milwaukee Brewers want upgrades to the stadium, but the state won't pitch in, so the team wants to look. I did read that one also.
Yeah.
That they want to redo the Milwaukee Brewers Stadium. If not, the owner has said that he might look at relocation.
Well, answer me this: at Milwaukee, do they still have the mascot that goes down the slide into the beer when they hit a home run?
I think so.
Because that was one of the coolest things. That was the second coolest home run thing that I've ever seen.
What's number one?
Honestly, number one was from my childhood, and it was Vet Stadium with Philadelphia Phil and Phyllis, and Phil swung the bat, and the little dots went across, and then it hit her, and then she would like fall on her behind and pull the thing to the cannon, and the cannon would shoot steam out. That was the coolest thing ever when you were a kid. I mean, but that was for that time, it was cool. Again, you're going back, quite a while.
That's for the team. I'm trying to find out if they do it or not.
It'd be cool if there was a video of that.
I can probably find one.
Philadelphia Phil and Phyllis.
Well, according to Google, the Brewers mascot still does slide down the slide.
Okay, cool.
And then you want me to look up Phil and Phyllis?
Yeah.
Phil, is that all it is? Phil and Phyllis?
Philadelphia Phil and Phyllis. Now, that was before cell phones and stuff, so there might not be, it may be harder to find a recording of that.
Do you know who I am? I don't think you do. Philadelphia Phil and maybe this one. Well, that's out of order. But I see what you're talking about with this, though. Let me pull this up and show you a picture of what I'm looking at. Because this is a video from opening day at the vet 1971. So you had that giant video board like you're talking about right here.
Yeah. Yep.
But they're not showing the home run.
Well, it wasn't on the board. It was, there's Phyllis right there.
This one?
With the cannon right there to the left of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So Phil would swing the bat, and then the lights would go along the concrete lip there. Doesn't look like there's a video of Tommy Lasorda beating up the Fanatic,
which is always iconic.
That was bizarre.
Still is. No, I'm not seeing one.
No.
I will do some research and I will find it for you, I promise.
Yep. I'm sure it's out there somewhere in the world.
Uh-huh.
I have to check into that. Okay, so I guess that's it for baseball. When we move on to the Eagles?
Sure.
Okay.
1818.
1818. Again, I'm thinking Marcus Mariota ain't the guy.
No, not that night.
And the problem is that 22 out of the last 25 years, the backup quarterback has had to start at least one game.
Yeah.
For the Eagles. So that's a problem right now. Now, I know that, they'll probably alter the game plan if Mariota has to play for any, extended period of time.
Yeah.
I know that they would adjust, but he just is not showing anything right now. And did you happen to catch that quarterback documentary on Netflix?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a documentary about quarterbacks, and it's really good. If you get a chance, check it out. Okay. But there's one part of that was an interview with Mariota. And Mariota comes across like he doesn't even want to be out on the field.
Oh, boy.
And to say that when you know you're being documented in an interview that you know is going to be on film and end up in this documentary, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, he quit on his team last year. He got replaced as a starting quarterback, and then he left the team.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
true.
he's not a character guy. I mean, the liability they have right now is about $5 million.
Yep.
I mean, and this other kid is lights out.
Tanner McGee.
Tanner McGee has been
McKee.
playing,
Sorry, McKee.
has been lighting it up. I mean,
Yeah.
pinpoint accuracy on his throws, making good decisions. I mean, you know, getting out of the pocket when he needs to get out of the pocket. Even if they can't put him on the practice squad because he'll be gone. So he's going to have to be the third string.
I mean,
Okay. But how much would it take to say Jalen goes down and say, you know, do we put Mariota in, or, you know, do we send in number 3?
that's, I guess you would say, the $1 million question, honestly.
The $5 million question.
Well,
Because
1.9 if you want to be precise.
that's how much it would take to just make him go away.
Yeah, but like anything, you gotta go with a hot-handed quarterback, and if you have a 6th-round draft pick showing up a veteran like Mariota, I mean, hey, it might be showing something to Marcus Mariota, like, hey, this might be my last year. I might be on my way out of this league.
Well, he technically was out of the league, and we pulled him back.
Yeah, well, they did that to somebody else, and you see what happened.
And I thought it was hilarious on the radio that, there's a million people on Sports Talk that are saying, Nick Foles is available. We need Nick Foles. You don't need not Nick Foles. No.
And then people were putting the idea of Carson Wentz too. No.
Well, Carson burned all his bridges on his way out. He's not coming back.
Yeah.
But Nick Foles is royalty here. So, I mean, if it came down to it, it's not like the fans wouldn't accept him.
Yeah. Well, I told you what they got to do. I told you exactly what they got to do.
Well, but the funny thing is that it came out that they are currently Foles is talking about retiring and then signing a 1-day contract. And it's already out. It's already out there.
Good. I mean, the Patriots game's what, 3 weeks away? Let's go.
See, I only think that Foles has thrown it out there now to stop the talk of him coming back to the Eagles. I think that he put out there the retirement thing just to discourage the Eagles from even thinking about the idea.
He probably knows that they were thinking about it.
Yeah, because it's all over Sports Talk. Sports Talk Radio, it's dominating the airwaves right now. I mean, but honestly, if you think about it, if the worst thing that we have to worry about right now is the second string quarterback, we're doing okay. I mean, but I'm a little concerned now because we lost 2 great special teamers, and special teams was already, not exactly tremendous over last year.
True.
And now you cut the only other punter that was in camp behind Siposs.
Yep.
And I personally have already guaranteed that Siposs is not going to be the kicker. It's not going to be the punter. As soon as another punter gets cut from another team, who they're interested in, I think you're going to see them sign a punter. And I
Yeah,
think Sipas is gone.
that is true.
But, losing McPherson for the year, that's going to hurt.
And then the week before you lost Sean Bradley.
And losing Sean Bradley, it's going to hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, those were two of your top guys.
absolutely.
I mean, one thing that I will say is in these first two preseason games, the guy I saw who stood out to me, who was down the field just about faster than anybody else, was Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that may be Trey Sermon's salvation to making this team, to take over that gunner role on special teams.
Plus, he's actually could be maybe a serviceable returner too.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the problem that they have right now. You have 6 caliber running backs fighting for 4 spots.
Well, here's the thing. I think, my opinion, I think the guy who should be sweating bullets right now is probably Rashad Penny.
I've actually been impressed with Penny though.
Yeah, but they haven't given him any first string snaps in practice. He's taken all second and third team snaps, mostly thirds. So, do you keep a third string running back for that money, or do you cut your losses? It's a 1-year contract. He's not on the hook for that much money.
No. Let's see. I'll tell you how much he's on for. I love this website.
Little over $1 million, maybe $1.5 million.
I would tell you 1 second. Loading up my handy dandy spot track website. I love this website.
Okay.
If you've never used it before, you need to check it out. Let me switch this by position if I can. Running back. Here we go. Rashad Penny would be, if the Eagles were to cut him, he would cost $600,000, which is the cap.
He's gone. You're right, Chris. Mariota, his arm was bad when he was in Atlanta. I mean, yeah. I mean, they would be in obvious passing situations and still handing the ball off because they didn't trust his arm.
Yeah.
He's just, he doesn't have it anymore. And I don't know if they thought that they were going to do some kind of magic to all of a sudden make him a better passer, because, it is the quarterback factory. That's what they say.
No, I know.
So, but you look at their track record.
No, you're not. You're not saying you're wrong, am I?
I mean, they took a guy right out of prison, and he was an MVP candidate.
That is true.
You took a guy who's a backup who played horribly in other cities, and he won you a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You gotta give him some kind of credit.
No, I will give him credit. I'm sorry. I apologize.
And the kid, you gotta give him credit for spotting that talent and bringing him in.
Yeah, I mean, they did a thing on Jalen Hurts and like his ball, and look how many teams passed him up.
Yeah.
Especially teams that at the time needed a quarterback, went different directions thinking he wasn't the guy.
Well, the word that came out after the fact was that they were obsessed, quote unquote, obsessed with Jalen Hurts. And they wanted him in the worst way, and they were going to get him.
Yeah.
Thus, trading up into the second round to grab him.
Hey, it's paid off so far. That's all I'll say. If he can back up what he did last year, Jalen Hurts will never put on another jersey for the rest of his career.
It's very likely. Well, and today in practice, according to some Elliott Shore Parks, who charts the quarterback play at practice, Jalen was 25 for 27 with 3 touchdowns.
Nice.
In practice today.
Can't beat that.
So he said that he actually might be a better runner than he was last year.
Yeah, I mean, with the running backs that they have though this year, you figure bringing in DeAndre Swift, you got Gainwell, say Penny makes the team, Boston Scott, Jalen Hurts shouldn't have to nearly run as much as he did last year.
Right.
Yes, it is a weapon of his game. I will say that. You're not going to be able to take that away from him, but he shouldn't feel the pressure to have to run every single play.
Well, here's what you do though. I mean, you can, if you tell him not to run, then you run into another situation like they tried to do with McNabb, where they tried to make him a pocket passer. And they tried to do the same thing with Randall Cunningham back in the day. And what you can do is you can do it without saying it and just don't call those designed runs. I mean, it's okay if you're going to run, you run because you've ran your whole career. That's your instincts. You don't want to take that away. But you don't have to have those plays where it's a designed run, where he's going to take the full brunt of a charging, D-back or, something of that nature, where you're going to have guys gunning for him at full speed,
Yeah.
But like a draw or something like that, something inside the tackles that's designed.
Yep.
That's a little different. A
tush push.
That's the tush push, a little bit different. He barely gets touched.
Yeah.
In a tush push.
That's true. Have a good night, Curtis. Thanks for popping in.
Thanks, Curtis.
But yeah, I mean,
but just don't call as many of those designed runs, and maybe not as many on the goal line because you don't have to. I mean, DeAndre Swift and if Penny's on the team, they can take that ball in.
Yeah. Or you fake it to one of them, and then you can send the other one out in the flat for a little rinky-dink dump-off pass.
Yeah. Run a Philly special.
I mean, the offense is loaded with talent.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
There's so much talent on this team. On paper, you know what they should do.
Yeah.
But
I'm hoping to see it
one game at a time.
I'm hoping to see it firsthand in person Thursday night because me and Gary had been talking about getting tickets to go over for.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but you know who else I was really impressed with on Thursday night though?
Who's that?
I gotta give credit to the other team.
Okay. I'm
loving Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, played a good game.
I think the kid has a future.
Yeah, I mean, some of the people that I noticed, I mean, Sidney Brown,
another strong game,
big time guy. I'm excited about him. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Zach Cunningham too.
Yeah, Zach Cunningham. He's a little banged up, but he'll be okay.
Oh, better than the other one.
And then you're going to get you're going to get some players back before week 1.
Yeah. I mean, Christian Ellis had another strong game. McPherson had 6 tackles before he got hurt. Kayvon Wallace has played extremely well in the preseason.
Yeah.
Um,
But it looks like Cunningham and
Dean.
yeah, I just said his name.
Uh,
Man, I'm losing my brain. The other safety, Sidney Brown.
Brown. Yeah.
Sidney Brown and Blankenship are probably going to be the two starting safeties.
I'm okay with that. I mean, Brown's in his wings.
Yep. And then with Slay and Bradbury, Maddox is nickelback.
Yeah.
I am pretty confident.
I mean, the only thing I'm worried about now, though, is you with losing McPherson. Yes, you still have Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, and then on the outside you're going to have Ringo and Joby backing up Slay and Bradbury. Who's going to back up Maddox in the slot? So now that position becomes wide open.
Yeah.
Because it would have been McPherson.
Right. Well, one thing that they've been doing too is in practice, they've been using Bradbury. Bradbury's been sliding up into the and to cover the slot because of the quality of tight ends that we're facing this year. I mean, you're going to face Travis Kelce, and you're going to face some really good quality tight ends. Rather than try and have those linebackers covering, they're working on packages where Bradbury slides up.
Okay.
And kind of eats up that middle of the field.
I could see that. I hate the fact that there was a 2 week layoff between the last preseason game and the regular season. Sort of the regular season. It's not ideal, but in a sense it is because that 2 weeks you can implement week one game plan very well.
Well, you can get everybody healthy. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
And also I that extra preseason game really wasn't necessary. I mean,
some people it was though.
Yeah, I mean, for some guys that are fighting to make a team, yeah, but 1 week's not going to make all that much difference.
Which I'm kind of surprised though, because you figure this is the last preseason game for all the teams. Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is actually playing this week.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Chris. But yeah,
have fun at the game.
Forget you need someone to go with. Give Ron a call. I see Cole. Just look that up. You'll find Ron.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
Rodgers
is playing this week though, and you figure it's the last preseason game, and the Jets are playing their franchise quarterback. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, I don't know if that's just throwing a bone to the fans. After they scored 10 tonight, you got to hope they don't do their usual act.
Right? That is true. But
yeah, I don't know. They're not going to have Rodgers in there for long.
No. I mean, Eagles do have some tough decisions to make, though. That's for sure.
Yep.
I mean, and who better to bring in than Shane Steichen and the Indianapolis Colts?
Yeah. And Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Uncle Rico.
Who will probably be playing.
He should get it. I think he'll clap for him. I think he'll get some Philly love.
I think so. I mean, he didn't, you can't blame the guy for going to a better situation. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it hurts a little bit that, we have to worry about that position when we really didn't have to do that when he was here.
True.
And though he played one really good game and one not so.
Yeah.
In the 2 games he had to play.
I mean, Dan, you got some big battles that you got to figure out on Thursday, too. You got to figure out your number 5 wide receiver. You got to figure out your third tight end.
Yeah. But again, if we're talking, if you and I are talking right now and we're sitting here saying, man, who's going to be that third tight end? Or, what about that, that third, second string, whatever. It's, you have so much confidence in what's already in place.
Yeah.
Now you're just going.
I'm filling the pinholes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, on paper, best team in the NFC.
As long as we stay healthy.
No doubt. Barring injury, no reason they can't have a great season. And
absolutely.
We are already on record with our predictions. So,
yeah. I mean, you have one game on tonight. You have the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Commanders. And looking at this box, well, Sam Howell had himself a hell of a first half. Whatever he played tonight. 19-25, 188, and 2 touchdowns.
Don't tell me Baltimore's losing.
Nope, they're up by 1, 21-20.
Okay, well, don't want to break their
the
preseason streak.
The whammy
25 streak. In a row.
I mean, Josh Johnson had a good night. Wow. I'm like, wow.
Man, like, Josh Johnson he just gets around.
Yeah, 10-12 tonight, 145, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. So he only really had 1 incompletion.
Wow.
If you don't count the interception.
Yeah.
Jahad Dotson had a good first half. Penn State guy, Terry McLaurin, doing what Terry does. Curtis Samuel had a catch. And then no Odell Beckham Jr. for the Ravens tonight.
No.
Melvin Gordon III had 8 carries for 34 yards. So, I mean, yeah, it's only preseason, but it's nice to see how people are progressing, I should say.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
well, we just got to hold on for another week, 2 weeks, and then we get to do it for real.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah. The New England Patriots.
Yeah. And then the real fun smack talking begins too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which I figured we can do that live for the second hour. I mean, I don't know if anyone else is watching or not, but for the second consecutive year, the Basement Show is doing fantasy football. And we are. Ron has pledged to buy a trophy for Dalsell winner. So, for the second hour, I am going to sit here. Me and Ron, as co-commissioners, are going to set up the league. So, if anyone wants to jump in and have any say, if not, me and Ron are going to set this up fairly. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Because I am pretty certain that the draft is going to be this coming Sunday, August 27th at 9 p.m. As you see it on the screen like this, I am going to broadcast the draft live. Everybody who is in the league is going to have links to pop in studio whenever they want. And like Ron said before, it's all about having fun and shit talking along the way.
That's half the fun.
Half the fun. So,
I did a live draft on Sunday of a new league that I just joined. It was an established league that's been around for about 16 years.
Damn.
And but this is I got an invite because one of the guys in the league, I used to be on one of my softball teams, so I coached. So he invited me to join because he knows that I'm into fantasy football a little bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I got my dad. They've been around for about 30 years. This will be my 2008 and now my 15th season.
Nice.
And my dad's league, and I won the head-to-head last year by by 2.7 points.
Nice.
So we'll start with the league name. Basement Show. See if this is available. If it's not, I'm curious to know who else has the baseball. Should we do a space or should we just put Basement Show in one? I would show. Why not? Basement Show Fantasy Football good with you?
Yep.
Okay. Head to head or total season points?
Head to head.
I think. Okay.
Yep.
Live standard draft, live salary cap draft. Ooh. We can set budgets on people how to do that.
I don't know if we've got that's kind of an advanced class kind of league. You know, we probably have to keep it more basic.
All right, so we'll just do the live standard draft, take turns selecting players, and an online snake draft.
Yes.
Snake draft. Set this up for the 27th.
Yeah. You set it for snake?
It automatically does.
Okay. Yep.
And then draft date 8/27, which is just coming Sunday.
Yep.
For 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Note, the NFL regular season starts on Thursday, September 7th.
Yep.
In my dad's league, we normally do it the Tuesday after Labor Day. This year, we were waiting a day. And one more day, we're doing it that Wednesday before. So the night before the season.
Wow. Okay.
Talk about waiting to the last minute.
Yeah, that's cutting it close.
All right. So league name, Basement Show Fantasy Football. Scoring type, head to head. Draft type, live standard. Draft schedule, August 27th, 9 p.m. Yep. Make my league a private prize league. What does this mean? It's time to make being a commission fun again. Yahoo collect your league dues. Oh, we don't want that. No league dues for Yahoo.
No.
Create league. All right. Now I'm gonna copy and share your league link. So this is where we get to email people.
Yep.
And I will start typing these in. So I will hide this so I don't give away people's information.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody doesn't want their emails presented live on the show. Alright. But we figured we'd do like a standard scoring once we get all that squared away. I get these emails sent out. We'll pull up this thing again and do all the points and stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff. Next one. Did we get the other email address I need?
No, I just checked again. He hasn't got back to me yet.
All right. There is still time. Okay. Got 7. Oops. Got the second word of the email. Right. Nice. Okay. Okay. So you go back and rewatch this show as we do this. Yeah. Make sure to check your email. I will also send out messages to those involved.
And if you're in the league and you're a certain defending champion, all I got to say is
he might be watching right now. It says someone. Oh, no,
I'm coming. I'm coming for you, Vincent.
Benny, he's coming. Yeah, Benny, he's
I'm coming for you.
I had told him to maybe pop in the chat tonight. But I think it's actually going to be a very competitive league.
Are you ready for the hurricane?
Oh, boy. Oh, while I type these in, actually, I am taking the Basement Show on the road. For those who don't know, I like to do shows on the road for the show to help promote it. And I am doing one this coming October. Saturday, October 14th. I don't know if I'm going to do a live show like I did last year from Washington, or just do like a blog type video. But I
Hmm.
am going to the Penn State Nittany Lions game.
Nice.
I mean, it was between October 14th versus UMass, or October 28th versus Indiana. The only reason I picked the UMass game because that one has a set time, so I can like set my schedule for that day, getting after and stuff. Because I think it's a 3:30 in the afternoon game, so you figure leave here around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's a 3-hour drive out there. What?
You're There's a lot of traffic around Happy Valley. You better leave earlier than that, or you're never
What?
going to get to the game.
What? 3:30 game?
Yep.
Really?
They're jammed up by Friday night. Most of the people going to the game are already in town by Friday night.
Good to know.
So, yeah, you definitely want to go earlier if you want to make sure that you're in the stadium for the game, because that place gets hella crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some people actually want me to maybe look at spending the night after.
My parents have been to a few games because they used to go with my I had a cousin who actually attended Penn State. So,
Nice. Can't go wrong with that. I
yeah.
mean, the one year I went out there because my friend was out there, and the very next day I got back from Happy Valley. The next day I went to a Goodwill in this area, and what do you know? Guess what I find? A
What's that?
24 by 36
Yeah.
canvas print. So one of those giant posters.
Yeah.
It's an aerial shot of Beaver Stadium during the way down.
Oh, wow.
Easiest
Nice.
$6 I've ever spent in my life.
Nice.
I'll take a picture of it and I'll show you next time
Okay.
we're on together. So
All
I
right.
mean, it was like meant to be.
Well, the basement show is going to be on location 2 times then,
Yes.
because we're also going to be on location on December 10th, was it? Let me see.
September 3rd.
No, December 3rd. The 40 Winers.
Yes. December 3rd. You're right.
December 3rd. Okay. And we will be broadcasting from the Oz pub. And we will be doing a pre-show for the Eagles Niners. We will have some special guests in the form of our hosts and numerous Eagles fans who will be attending that day. So we're gonna have some fun that day.
Cool. I'm excited to see who wants to join the show. I mean, that should be a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's gonna be one quick millisecond. I just got to download something on my computer.
One of our wheel finalists. It's actually their house. So Lisa Tinney and Kenny Tinney. That's the location.
Nice.
So.
All right. So now we're in the league settings. I'm gonna put a little custom little logo I made. See if I can have to crop this at all. I might have to. No, it's okay. So it's just your standard football. It says Basement Show Fantasy Football.
Okay.
Choose image, and there you go. Now we have our own little special fantasy football logo too.
Okay.
Auto renew league. When you set your league up to auto renew. No, we don't want to do that yet. No. Invite permissions. Commissioner only. Maximum teams 10.
Yes.
Okay. Head to head.
Yes.
Okay. Start obviously week 1, September 7th.
Yes.
Can't cut list provider.
No.
You don't want to can't cut list?
No.
Yeah. Maximum player acquisitions for an entire season.
The unlimited.
Okay, no maximum trades for an entire season.
Maximum what?
Number of trades that someone can make.
Unlimited.
Okay, last date to trade players: November
Um,
4th, 11th, November 18th, 25th, or December 2nd, or no trade deadline.
um, let's say the 11th.
Okay,
Or no,
allow draft
the 18th.
18th. Okay, allow draft pick trade.
No.
Okay, I've always wanted to try that though. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna do it now.
Maybe down the road.
Fair enough. Trades reviewed by votes. So you want to? So say someone makes a trade,
Yeah, I know
right?
what it means. Yeah.
Okay. You want the votes, commissioner, or just automatically accept it if someone accepts it?
Um, I would
That's
do
fine.
commissioner maybe,
Okay.
or unless you want to do vote.
I kind of like the vote idea.
Okay, put a vote then.
Okay. Votes to veto trade. So you have. Well, you want to go with majority, right? So at least
Yes,
what, 5?
majority. Yeah, so it would have to be. Well,
Or
5-5
6?
would be a tie, so have to be
6.
6. Yeah.
Okay. Time to protest pending trades. 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. I'd say
Well,
two's
if you're
fine.
going to have vote, it doesn't apply. But say 2 days.
Okay. Time players on waivers. No waivers, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, for a week. So the waiver wire. I'd probably say just one.
Yeah.
Okay. Waiver priority. A rolling list, reverse order of standings, weekly rolling list based on standings, FAB with controversial rolling list tiebreak. I'd say probably continual. That way
Yes.
it just rotates throughout
Yeah.
the
Just
season.
open. Yeah.
Okay. Waiver rule. Game time Tuesday. First game of the week Tuesday. Continuous or Sunday to Tuesday. Um.
I don't know what that. I don't
So
understand that.
okay. Waiver. Use these settings to give everyone in your league a fair chance of picking somebody up. Sunday to Tuesday, all unrostered players will be placed on waivers at between 10 a.m. Pacific each Sunday, with the claim period ending at 11:59 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday. For first game of the week to Tuesday, all unrostered players will be placed on waivers at the start of the first game for that week, when the claim period ending at 11:59 on Tuesday. Game time, same thing. Just all players are placed on waivers starting at game time that week. Or none. Players are not subject to the league's waiver rules. Remain free agents throughout the week.
Yeah, that one.
None.
None. Yeah.
Okay. Add injured players directly to an injury slot. Yes or no?
No, that has to be done manually. It's not
Okay.
automatic.
Live draft pick time. 1 minute, 1 minute 15, 1 minute 30, 1:45, or 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay. After draft, make all unrostered players follow waiver rules or free agents.
Free agents.
Okay. Applied injury status for postponed games. When a game is postponed due to any reason, automatically assign the player. No.
No.
Lock bench players after game start. No. I don't like that. Make league publicly viewable. By default, only league members can view pages within this view. within this league. If you choose to make your league public, viewable, anyone with access to the league URL. I don't want. I want to keep it private then.
Okay.
Playoff weeks. So this is how we set up the playoffs.
Yeah.
4 teams, week 15 and 16, week 14, 16, and 17, or 4 teams, week ending 17 and 18, or you could do 6 teams or 8 teams.
6 teams make the playoffs.
Okay. And the last 3 weeks of the season?
Yeah.
I like that too. Playoff tiebreaker. Higher seed wins or best regular season versus opponent wins.
Head to head. So
best regular season record or higher
yeah.
seed?
Well, because it's all one division, it's not going to. The higher seed's going to be the one with the more wins.
Yeah.
So I guess wins.
Okay. Playoff reseeding, yes or no? No?
No.
Lock eliminated teams, yes or no?
No.
Maximum player activation per week, none. Division, yes or no? No, right?
No.
Okay. League pick'em games?
No.
No. Play against median score? No. That's a no. Okay, we're going to submit that. Okay, go back. Oops, I don't want to do that. Why is it doing this? Submit. Okay. Commissioner. Last year's in scoring. Scoring settings. Here we go.
Okay.
So fractional points, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Negative points, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Passing touchdowns, leave it at 4. Or you want to change that?
6.
Okay. Interceptions, -1.
Should be -2.
Okay. We're doing passing attempts, completions, incomplete passes, sacks.
Completions should be a point.
Okay. Passing yards, 25 yards equals 1 point.
Yep.
That's standard mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you want to do 40-plus yard completions and 40-plus yard passing touchdowns as like a bonus?
Yes.
We'll just do, okay, well, we'll do this as 2, since it's 1 point for completion, and then 40 yard plus passing touchdowns. What would you like to set that up as?
Now, that's in addition to the 6, right?
Yeah.
So, an additional 2.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Passing first downs, I'm going to leave off.
No. Yeah.
Rushing touchdowns, 6 points.
6 points.
10 rushing yards equals 1 point.
Yes.
Okay. 40 yard plus run, you want that one?
Yeah.
An extra 2.
2.
40 yard plus touchdown.
2.
Another 2. Okay. Receiving touchdown, 6.
Yep.
Receptions,
1.
0.1 or just like
just
a whole
1.
Point?
1 point.
Oh wow. Okay. Receiving yards, 10 yards equals 1 point.
Yes.
Okay. 40-plus yard reception.
Plus 2.
Okay. 40 yard plus yard receiving touchdown.
Yeah. Plus 2.
Okay. Return touchdown, 6 points.
Yes.
Return yards or no?
No.
Okay. 2-point conversions, 2 points.
Yes.
Fumble loss, -2.
Yes.
Offensive fumble return touchdown, it says 6 points.
No.
You want that on?
No.
Okay. Kickers. 0 to 19, 3 points. 20 to 29, 3 points. 30 to 39, 3 points. 40 to 49 yards, 4 points. And 50 plus is 5 points.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yep.
Now, do you want to take away if they miss a field goal?
-2.
On which one? I'd say by the top three.
Or the
Right?
ones over 50.
Oh, so they're getting a minus point if they miss. Is that what you're saying?
So or no, it should be minus on the shorter end.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
-2. -2.
just those two.
After the 30 to 39 yards?
What do you think?
Well, you think about it. An extra point is 33 yards.
Okay, that's fine. Make it -2. And then the other
Yeah,
ones, no.
yeah, I'm leaving that black.
Yeah.
Field goal yards per point. What is this? No, we're not doing fractions.
No.
Point after attempt made, 1 point.
Yes.
Point after attempt miss. We'll put that at a -1.
-1.
Man, people gonna hate it. But I did tell everybody if they want to say in this draft, they can hop in and give us ideas. So, all right, 0 points allowed, 10 points. Points allowed 1 to 6, you get 7.
Mm-hmm.
Points allowed 7 to 13, 4. Points allowed 14 to 21 point. Points allowed 21 to 27, no points. And then if you allow 28 to 34 points, it's -1. And points allowed 35 plus -4. That's all good with me.
Okay.
Sack, 1 point.
Yes.
Interception, 2 points.
Yes.
Fumble recovery, 2 points.
Yes.
Touchdown, 6.
Yes.
Safety, 2.
Yes.
Block kick, 2.
Yes.
All right, and then return yards again if you want to have that on.
No.
Kickoff and punt return, 6 points. That's good.
Yep.
Fourth down stops, nothing.
Mm-mm.
Tackles for loss, no points.
No.
Defensive yards are allowed, negative. All the defensive yards are shut off.
Yeah, shut that off.
Okay, 3 and out is none. Extra point return, 2 points. Like how sometimes when teams miss a kick, teams come running back and they get the 2 points.
No.
You want to take that off? Okay.
Yeah.
Now bonuses for offense.
Mm-hmm.
Passing yards bonus, and then you got rushing yards. So, like, say you hit like 300 yards, you get like an extra, 3 points, stuff like that.
Nah, that's.
Leave all that off.
Yeah, leave all that off.
How about rushing, receiving?
Same thing. Yeah, just leave all that off.
Okay. Make sure changes have been saved. That's just going over that again. What else we have? Schedules and playoffs. Customize matchups. Okay, I can't do any of that yet.
Okay.
Draft and keepers. Change draft time, player status, finalize team list. Change your draft type. Don't want that.
Now we did set it for PPR, right?
Well, we'd have to go back into scoring real quick. Scoring settings. Receiving. Yeah, you get 1 point for reception.
Okay. So
you get the point for reception. I guess that's a PPR league, right?
Yeah.
Because most leagues you can set that like 0.5.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, we set it as 1 point.
Okay.
And then, like I said, you can edit more like bonus. Like if a player hits like bonus yards, like you can give them a bonus for that too. But
yeah,
you said to leave all that off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's pretty much all we have to do with that.
Okay.
So if you're in chat, go back and watch the show. I'll send out messages to people. Get signed up. Draft is on. Sam's already in.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to see what his name is real quick. League chat. Nope, not that one. Overview. What's the standings at? Oscar. Nope. There you go. Samuel standout team. Ooh, Sam dropping the hammer. I mean, it
Well,
gave me.
it defaults to that. Like when you enter in the email address,
Yeah.
once they accept the invite, then it defaults the team name, and they'll go in and change it.
Okay.
Because the one league I was in, it defaulted me to Ron's remarkable team.
Well, that's true. I guess I should change mine because mine right now says the Basement Show's best team.
Yeah.
Well,
So you
yeah,
can go into team info and change that. Well, I'll tell
yeah,
you right now what my team name is. So just so you know,
go ahead.
Mean Machine.
Okay.
That's my fantasy fallback name.
And you put the old Mean Machine logo?
Yeah. Well, as best I can replicate it. Well, I had a couple interesting names before though. I had actually the year that I had Cooper Cup. My team name was My Cup Runneth Over. I had Ertz So Good.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I've had some interesting names in the past, but Mean Machine's my favorite.
Yeah, I told you some of my names before and I got in trouble by you, so I'm not going to repeat mine, so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can add a co-commissioner. I don't think I can.
It's not necessary.
Okay. I mean, I think we set it up pretty fair to everybody.
Yep.
So, I mean,
We're all good.
if you got the email, please go in and sign up. We have till Sunday, so
I'll make sure I get Jason to get me that information so you can add it when you get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be.
He's at work right now, so that's why he didn't answer.
Gotcha. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna have a fun league. It's gonna be a competitive league.
Yes,
for sure.
Definitely
Yeah.
for some of us, right, Vincent? You hear me? You listening? You hear me?
I don't think he's listening, sir.
Is this thing working?
Oh, I hear you loud and clear.
Oh no, it's on like Donkey Kong, man. I'm telling you. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Well, like I said, we will have the stream on live. I can pull the same exact website on. I'll be sitting in the studio like this. I don't care. You guys look who I pick. I don't care. 'Cause I'm confident.
I am open to a little side wager with Mr. Vincent.
So I mean,
if he's interested in that. If not, we'll just do it for bragging rights, but it's all good.
there's one thing I gotta see if I can change. I gotta figure out why this is on Pacific time. You ever noticed that?
I did not.
Tools. Okay, I'll show you real quick. I'll go back to the homepage. Overview. See how right here it says live draft Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific. There has to be a way you can change that.
Yeah, you should be able to change that.
Because you would think that's going right in new.
Under draft date, yeah. Well, 6 p.m. Pacific would be 9 p.m.
Yeah, but some people might get confused.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to look through this and see what I can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's up and running, so please,
all right.
if you got the invite, go get signed up and start making your players. Ron's out for blood, apparently. So
I am. I take my fantasy football very seriously.
I can tell that.
Like I said, I already drafted my first team on Sunday, so and I
I
and I did. My quarterback is Jalen Hurts.
Now let me ask you a question. Though. What round did you take him?
Um, Third round.
That's actually pretty good value for Hurts.
Yes.
Wow. So he was probably a rough estimate. I'm just going to take a guess. You can tell me if I'm wrong. What? Well, first off, what league? Yahoo, ESPN, CBS.
Yahoo.
So he was probably the third quarterback listed.
Yep.
So Mahomes probably went first round. And then
Mahomes went early in the second round.
Josh Allen went second round then too.
No, I picked Hurts before Allen went off the board.
So who was the second quarterback? Or was it Hurts the second quarterback?
Hurts was the second quarterback taken.
Okay. Because we had talked about that a couple weeks ago and like the flip flop between a lot of different sites and all that.
This league, there was right out of the gate, there was a big run on wide receiver. Like a wide receiver went number 1 overall. Jefferson went 1 overall.
What the fuck?
So,
Pardon my language, but holy shit.
yeah, I was a little shocked about that one too.
I'm speechless.
And I don't think McCaffrey went off until like 4th.
Wow.
I think Jefferson and Chase went before CMC.
I mean, I could see Jefferson for sure.
Yeah.
Now the question is that league PPR league as well.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Then yeah, I could see a couple players going before Christian McCaffrey. Granted, he does get catches out of the backfield, but
that's why I grabbed Hurts where I grabbed him, because in a PPR league with his rushing stats plus his passing stats, he was number 1 overall points last year.
Crazy. I mean, we can actually pull this up real quick if you want, since we're just sitting here talking. That real quick. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at this, Jefferson's number 1 in this too.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got McCaffrey and Smart Chase. I mean, it's all a crapshoot. I mean, it's all luck of the draw pretty much.
Yeah, last year's stats doesn't necessarily tell you what's going to happen this year.
No.
It's only a guideline.
Now, I'm not asking you to give away your draft strategy, but as a fantasy football player, I'm kind of curious. I know some people care, some people don't.
Yeah.
Do you look at your bye weeks?
Yes, absolutely. You have to.
Okay. I'm just asking because there are some people that don't. So I'm always just curious.
I know, but then there are also the people that have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for their starters, because they could have had much better quality players if they had tracked their bye weeks.
Yeah.
But they just draft away, and all of a sudden you got 4 players that are out the same bye week and no backup.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, how my dad's league does it, which I actually really like about my dad's league, is you have to draft your starters before you can draft your bench.
Yeah.
And you have 9 starters, so you figure a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, kicker, and a defense, and a flex. So you can either have another running back, wide receiver, or tight end.
Right.
Then your bench is only 4 players. You can only use injured reserve if a player is on a bye week.
Why is the bench only 4 players?
Make it more interesting.
Well, that's not what we're going to do, right?
No, I don't know how he set that back there.
Should be. I'm saying 17 rounds.
Well, here you go. Your team will include the following roster positions: quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, tight end, 1 flex, kicker, defense, 6 on the bench, and you have 2 IR spots.
Right. Okay.
So there you
Okay.
go. So you figure that's what 3, 6,
15.
7, 8, 9, 15, and then you need IR. You can have up to 17.
Yeah, 15's good. IR you just use as you need it.
Yeah, but yeah, my dad's
Yeah.
league likes to make it interesting
Yeah.
because you figure I should be signed in on this one. My teams. We'll go over here real quick. Close this. Let's see scores. Like I said, you figure with mine's on the right. So this was my
Okay.
so obviously we haven't picked new teams yet, but like I said, you got the 9 on the starters, right? Then down here, that's where it comes interesting because this is the side of your bench right here. Now, if you have someone on a bye week, then yeah, you can use injured reserve. But other than that, you only can have one on your bench at all times.
Yeah.
It's very complex and very complicated, but it makes for a very fun draft.
The email says 9 p.m. by the way. The site says 9 p.m.
Okay. Evening, gents. Care to grade my redraft team? We have a Mr. Trey on YouTube asking us. Sure, Trey. If you want to pop in the chat, we'll grade it for you. I have no problem doing that real quick. And Ron probably won't mind either, so.
No?
Welcome in, sir. Thanks for jumping in the chat. We're just finishing setting up our league for the show now. We're doing a live draft on Sunday, so. And like we said, that should be a very fun, interesting league. So we'll wait for Mr. Trey to drop his team. Another team has signed up. Vaughn. Welcome in, sir. And custom logo. We have to do that later, actually. I'm changing my logo too.
Yeah.
So we'll wait for Mr. Trey to load up his team and see what he has. That's what's fun about this time of year. Like, I mean, last year when we did the draft live on the show, we had a lot of people coming and actually watch the draft, asking for picks and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
here we go. Trey has quarterback
Okay.
Lamar, wide
Hold on.
receivers.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Quarterback Lamar, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Ramonde, and Javante. Who's Javante?
Javante, probably from Denver. Javante Williams.
Okay.
Flexi has Waddle, Bench, Ingram.
James Cook, Rashad White, Pittman, Sky Moore. PPR.
Pick 2 of 12. No Super Bowl.
Okay. Javante Williams. Okay. All right.
I'd probably say B minus.
Jamar Chase. I like Jamar Chase. I liked Lamar's good if he stays healthy. Garrett Wilson could have a big year with Rodgers there.
Yep.
The only problem with Stevenson is the possibility of Zeke sniping some of his goal line carries, but he's definitely the number one. So
yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt that he's a solid pick there. Javante Williams, I'm not sure.
50-50 about. I mean,
he's got upside, but we'll see what happens with him. they don't necessarily have the greatest offensive line. So um, he's going to be fighting for hard yards.
Oh, that he's
So
coming off a torn ACL too.
yeah, but
Keep that in mind.
sometimes if he's fully healthy, that could be a good thing. He's well rested. Um,
True.
I love Waddle. I mean, there's people that would tell you to start Waddle over Garrett Wilson, but then in the flex, looking at who else you have in the flex there, it's a coin flip. Um, I really like Sky Moore a lot. I think he's got upside as the deep threat in the Kansas City offense. So um, I think that he's got a lot of upside as well. So Rashad Penny, I'm concerned on whether he's going to make the team or not. Um, with a cap hit of only 600 grand if they cut him, he's been running with the third string in practice. So I don't know how much they're liking. He got a couple carries with the first team the first day of practice, and then after that he was relegated to second or third. So I don't know. They just have a lot of running backs, and Trey Sermon's looking real good on special teams. So I think that they're going to find a roster spot for Trey in there somewhere. Elijah Moore I like as well. So yeah, I would say overall grade. Uh, yeah, I'd say maybe B minus.
I mean, I definitely like you agree on if your quarterback Lamar can stay healthy, good all around. You can get your passing yards, rushing yards, stuff like that. The wide receivers, Jamar Chase, solid number one. Garrett Wilson and Waddle could be interchangeable at your two flex, which is a good. Waddle as a flex at the start is great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Running backs, like Ron said, with Stevenson, he loses some touches to Zeke down by the goal line. Javonte Williams is a question mark coming back from the ACL. Some players come back strong. Some players don't come back the same. Ingram, I think he's going to have another breakout
Solid.
year down in Jacksonville.
Yep.
Him and Trevor Lawrence have built a really good relationship. And
Absolutely.
and then your bench, I mean, James Cook is an iffy back in Buffalo, but probably get more touches now that Naheem Hines is out for the year. Uh, Rashad White should have a decent year. Michael Pittman may not put up the yards he put up last year, but if it's a PPR league, that's a hell of a pick because Michael Pittman is a ball. The kid he catches pretty much everything thrown at him. So just receptions alone, you'll probably get 6, 7 points out of that. You might only get 40, 50 yards out of him a game with a young Anthony Richardson at quarterback, but 6, 7 receptions is going to help you out a lot too. Sky Moore, again, like Ron says, he's a good young talented player who right now is sitting at number one on Kansas City's depth chart for wide receiver, believe it or not. Rashard Penny, like Ron said, is a question mark if he sticks around in Philly or not. If he does, he's going to be used very sparingly. And Elijah Moore, I think, goes out to Cleveland and puts up at least 800 yards this year. So I stick with my B minus. The weakest being his running back position, I think. But other than that, it's a pretty solid team. I mean, I
Yeah.
would have drafted the backup quarterback to have in case Lamar goes down, but that's just me.
Well, keep an eye on Damian Harris too in Buffalo in the running back competition because he's played extremely well in the preseason and he's got a lot of upside. So there could be a spot later on in the season where he starts to get more touches in the game. So
Yeah.
just keep an eye on your running back spot from week to week with Cooks because I think that Damian Harris is probably a good value pick to stash if you have a chance to stash him.
True. I agree. I went wide receiver heavy, but running back went on fire for the first few rounds. I got Waddle in the fifth. That sounds
That's
about right for Waddle.
yeah, that's good value. I mean, Waddle was probably in some lists in the top 10 in wide receivers.
Yeah. I mean, Miami's biggest thing is if Tua can stay healthy, they have an explosive offense.
Yeah. I mean, he's one hit from retiring. So
Yes.
one more concussion, he's done.
But now, when they come to Philly, I mean, that's going to be a shootout. If Tua's playing that game, it's going to be a shootout in Philly with Tyreek Hill and Waddle on the other side, and then Devontae and AJ on Philly's side. That's going to be an explosive game to watch.
Should be.
But I would look to see what quarterbacks are out on the market for like secondary reasons, just in case Lamar does go down. I mean, I hope he doesn't. I hope everyone has a healthy season. But Lamar Jackson is known to get hurt at least once in the season.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I would keep an eye on who's out there for a backup, just in case.
Because 12 team league, so you figure that's probably at least 20 quarterbacks drafted.
Because probably most teams probably did draft 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to think about the bye week too.
Sure. I mean,
so at some point you're going to have another quarterback at least for a week.
Yeah. I mean, I would look at what I always do is I look at the bye weeks. If my quarterback's on a bye week, I look at what quarterbacks are playing the weakest opponent that week and filling a spot doing it that
way. Exactly right. That's a great strategy, John.
But I'll tell you who I'm actually really looking at for a backup quarterback this year. If I have to draft him or pick him up, I really like Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell can come in and have a really good season, I think. The assessment, if Lamar can burn, he could have an MVP season, in my opinion. But he is injury prone, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Trey, you know what you're talking about. You seem a very knowledgeable guy. You got the gist of it. You've probably been playing fantasy a very long time. So just keep using your brain. Don't let people persuade you. It's nice to get opinions on things, but at the end of the day, it's all about how you feel about your team.
Yep.
So, I mean, and he gave his assessment. He went heavy on wide receiver, but running back was on fire the first few rounds. So,
well, you're a PPR league, so I mean, those receptions are going to generate points. So if you've got a strong wide receiving core that's getting a lot of targets, then that's going to offset any deficiency you might have from having maybe a running back who isn't quite up to the top tier.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and like I said, his wide receivers, I love them.
Yeah.
I wrote, and to get Michael Pittman on a bench spot, he's a starter in most PPR leagues.
Yeah. So I think you're real solid. That's probably your strongest position, I would say.
Oh, hands down. I mean, like I said, Ingram's going to get him catches and points, but those wide receivers, he could easily have 15 to 20 points per receiver per game. So,
but I think even with Zeke there, I mean, Zeke is not going to dominate that backfield. I mean, Stevenson is going to be a 3-down back. He's going to catch a lot out of the backfield because Zeke doesn't catch balls out of the backfield. You know, that's going to be all Stevenson. So when there's a 3rd down, third and mid range, you're going to see Stevenson on the field, and Zeke's going to be standing on the sideline.
That's true. 14 years in, I'm going to pick Tua up off waivers. Hope he doesn't get hurt neither. Laugh out loud. If not, Kirk and Gino are there. Most people in this league only roster 1 quarterback, so there's value on the waiver.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you have a guy, with your receiving core, I mean, you've got such a solid receiving core. If you need to take a chance to have a good quality alternatives to Lamar if he goes down, I mean, it wouldn't be horrible to stash a Gino or
I mean, considering Geno Smith was one of 4 quarterbacks last year, they said that had 30 plus passing touchdowns.
Yeah, Geno had a great fantasy year last year. Absolutely.
And I think he's going to have it even better this year.
I had Geno on my team, one of my teams.
Yeah,
and
I picked him all late in the season.
He did very well for me. Absolutely. So that's a judgment call on your part. But if you know that you're going to stay solid with the starters that you have, and you have a position you feel you're at strength, and you can afford to stash a guy like Geno or Tua it's not a bad idea.
True. I agree with Han wasn't a touchdown monster last year neither. He makes his money with his elusiveness. Zach shows the goal line. I think it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Belichick's always known as a rotating coach who likes to rotate 2-3 running backs a game. So you're going to lose.
But he didn't do that as much last year. But you also had James Cook there too.
True.
So I mean, he was eating a lot of those catches out of the backfield, which are all now going to be Stevenson.
Yeah, you're right.
So you're down in the red zone. It's not unlikely that you might see Stevenson out in the formation, or you might see him coming out of the backfield on a delay. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crapshoot. Fantasy football is all about.
He's elusive and he's got a little bit of speed, even for a big guy.
I agree. But yeah, I mean, Trey, if you drop a follow on the page every Monday night towards the end of the show, we're going to be talking fantasy football because we just made a 10-team league for the show. So you're more than welcome to come hang out with us on Monday night, talk some fantasy, let us know how your team goes. We have other shows throughout the week. So, I mean, this is one of 5 shows we normally do on a week. So we're live Monday through Friday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Agreed entirely, my friend. Subscriber earned. Thanks, gents. Well, welcome to the family, Trey. I mean,
yes, sir.
Popping, like I said, Monday night is sports night. Tuesday night we have an entertainment night where we do different type of fun stories, entertainment. Wednesdays we play trivia. Thursdays we have a little bit more of a bizarre show once in a while called the Rev Grimm Show. And then Friday nights we discuss movies. So if you like talking movies, hang out with us on Friday. So, I mean, welcome in. Thank you for your subscription on YouTube. That's awesome.
Yes.
I mean, hope to see you again in chat soon.
Absolutely. Welcome
and
aboard, sir. You're now a basement dweller. Congratulations.
A basement dweller, yes.
Yes.
That's what we call a group, Trey. It's nothing to try to make people feel belittled or nothing, but if you subscribe to the page, follow us, we call you a basement dweller. It's just something we came up with in our first year, so it's all for fun. Sounds like a solid lineup of a stream. I'm glad I found you guys. Good luck this year, and good luck to you.
Good luck, sir.
Like I said, we hope to see you in chat. We would love to know how your team makes out.
Yeah, keep us apprised of how you're doing. I think you're gonna have a good season.
Hashtag Team Basement. I like
it. I like it. That's awesome.
But,
all right, sir. Well, I guess it's time to wrap it up, huh?
Yeah. Good way to wrap it up too, with a new subscriber on YouTube, a new friend and everything.
That's awesome. So, guys, thanks for coming in. Thanks for sharing some time with us. We appreciate you all for popping in the chat, and even those of you that are just kind of hanging out. We appreciate you all. Make sure to continue to like, follow, and share. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok.
Yep.
You can find us just about everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're like a virus. We're spreading, you know.
Oh boy.
So anyway, yeah, nothing requires penicillin or anything, John. You know.
Not yet. Not yet.
It's all good so far. So, you know, depends on where their mail order comes from.
Oh boy.
So anyway, on that note, hope you guys have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow night with Morgan and Shannon for entertainment night. So make sure you pop in and see what the ladies have going on. They're always doing something fun. So feel free to pop in and check it out. 9:00.
Yeah.
Go Phils. Let's continue this momentum from tonight and see if we can finish up with at least 2 out of 3, if not a sweep of the Giants. Would be excellent as far as the wild card standings go. Eagles Colts on Thursday night.
Yep, I'm hoping to be there with Gary. So we sit down and figure out tickets through. I mean, there will be no show this Thursday night, but we understand that. Have a good night, Chance. Thanks again. Thank you for popping in, Trey. It was nice to meet
Yes.
you. Hope to see you again and chat.
All right. So over to you to wrap it up, Johnny.
Well, don't forget, Wednesday we have trivia. We have trivia on Wednesday, and then Friday night this week we have Friday night movie night. There will be no show on Thursday night this week. The Grim has something to take care of, so we're taking Thursday night off. I will be hopefully at the Eagles game with Gary, hanging out, scouting the third team offense, seeing how bad Mariota really is in person. But thanks to everyone who popped in tonight. Gary, awesome to see as always. Our new subscriber Trey with his fantasy football, which is awesome. Chris hung out with us for a while. We had Curtis in chat. And I think that was pretty much about it. It was a quiet night, but hey, a win's a win. We have a new subscriber on YouTube. People are finding our shows. I love it. So no stretchers on Thursday night. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
You don't like to ever see that on a football field.
No more injuries.
But like Ron says, make sure to join Morgan and Shannon tomorrow night for their entertainment night. I may pop in, I may not, depending on what time I get home from work, because as of now, I am scheduled at 11 to 11 tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But if not, I will be back on Wednesday night for TNT, which is our trivia show. So come have some fun. Other than that, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night, everybody.